What's up with the squad? Back with another video. I seen the title's going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. You got First Lady Melania Trump calls on Congress to allow Epstein survivors to publicly testify what happened to them. This is on Remarks. This is on Remarks on X, and there's multiple posts, about this. I'm gonna give y'all my input after, obviously she speaks on a lot. I don't want to take away, until she speaks. Says, there's a post. Clearly everybody is outraged, about this. I'm not gonna lie. It says Dr. Joe Biden and Michelle Obama never called for aggressional action on Jeffrey Epstein. Melania Trump did what they'll never do. And thank you attention to this matter. Now, one thing about it is I truly feel as if, and we seen it. I mean, we ain't got to talk about it. Like, you see that, and I know people going to get me for saying Michelle Obama. But you truly see that. And my thing is, not even trying to be funny, like being real with y'all, if you think about it, they've had plenty more time. So everybody that always want to say, they're hiding this and they're hiding that, I think I really get so tired of that. Because when it comes to the Biden administration, what do you have to say about that? Like, truly, it's crazy to me. It's truly crazy to me. Benny Johnson posted this, Melania Trump just shocked everyone with the surprise White House announcement, shutting down lies about her and Jeffrey Epstein once and for all. Let's check it out, y'all.
Here's the First Lady, Melania Trump.
With the disgraceful Jeffrey Epstein need to end today. The individuals lying about me are devoid of ethical standards, humility, and respect. I do not object to their ignorance, but rather I reject their mean-spirited attempts to defame my reputation. I never been friends with Epstein. Donald and I were invited to the same parties as Epstein from time to time, since overlapping in social circles is common in New York City and Palm Beach. To be clear, I never had a relationship with Epstein or his accomplice, Maxwell. My email reply to Maxwell cannot be categorized as anything more than casual correspondence. My polite reply to her email doesn't amount to anything more than a trivial note. I am not Epstein's victim. Epstein did not introduce me to Donald Trump. I met my husband by chance at a New York City party in 1998.
And if y'all look this up, I'm pretty sure, not to mean, to cut her off, but I'm pretty sure if y'all look this up, Roger Stone had also commented, and it was a couple other people that actually commented on this, on what Melania is saying right now.
This initial encounter with my husband is documented in detail in my book, Melania. The first time I crossed paths with Epstein was in the year 2000 at an event Donald and I attended together. At the time, I had never met Epstein and had no knowledge of his criminal undertakings. Numerous fake images and statements about Epstein and me have been circulating on social media for years now. Be cautious about what you believe. These images and stories are completely false. I'm not a witness or a named witness in connection with any of Epstein's crimes. My name has never appeared in court documents, depositions, victim statements, or FBI interviews surrounding the Epstein matter. I have never had any knowledge of Epstein abuse of his victims. I was never involved in any capacity. I was not a participant was never on Epstein's plane and never visited his private island. I have never been legally accused or convinced of a crime in connection with Epstein's sex trafficking, abuse of minors, and other repulsive behavior. The false smears about me from mean-spirited and politically motivated individuals and entities looking to cause damage to my good name, to gain financially and climb politically, must stop. My attorneys and I have fought these unfounded and baseless lies with success and will continue to maintain my sound reputation without hesitation. To date, several individuals and companies have been legally obligated to publicly apologize and retract their lies about me, such as Daily Beast, James Carville, and HarperCollins, UK. Now is the time for Congress to act. Epstein was not alone. Several prominent male executives resigned from their powerful positions after this matter became widely politicized. Of course, this doesn't amount to guilt, but we still must work openly and transparently to uncover the truth. I call on Congress to provide the women who have been victimized by Epstein with a public hearing specifically centered around the survivors. Give these victims their opportunity to testify under oath in front of Congress with the power of sworn testimony. Each and every woman should have her day to tell her story in public if she wishes, and then her testimony should be permanently entered into the congressional record. Then, and only then, we will have the truth. Thank you.
So listening to this, I'm not gonna lie. Actually listening to this and actually listening to what Melania is saying, being real with y'all, I feel like this is definitely something. You have a lot of people that's like, oh, what are they hiding? Why are they trying to hide this? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? Me personally, I look at the simple fact that this takes a lot out of a person to even talk about and to do, especially just the simple fact of you like having and letting other women just to speak out and to let know. I feel like that because, and I'm saying this because you have a whole list of like different individuals that has something to do with Epstein and like all of that, but just a simple fact, y'all, of like nobody else like even saying nothing, like speaking on it and trying to keep, and then bashing Trump, about this. That's all they do. But I just find it completely insane of like how so many people have something to say. Everybody has something to say, about this, but Melania, this actually spoke out and said something. This reporter here literally just explained, of, I guess, a call that she had with President Trump. Check it out right here.
Yeah, Nicole, that is the question that we're all asking today. In fact, I just got off a very quick call before we went to air with President Trump, who said he was in the middle of a war meeting and that he couldn't talk for very long and had to go, but that actually he had no prior knowledge to the topic that Melania Trump, his wife, was going to be touching upon today in his statement. In her statement, he then repeated that he had to go, but before we hung up the phone, he said that she didn't know him, presumably referring to Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, Nicole.
So you literally have this, and a lot of people have, something to say, with this. And again, you having different people. So you said you haven't, and it's different posts too. It's different posts that I'm gonna be showing y'all today about this. Just like this is Fox News. Senior White House correspondent reveals Melania Trump's statement pushing back on false connections to Jeffrey Epstein came out of left field. So people are saying not only, obviously, everybody didn't know that she was going to do that, it said that not only did they not know, they didn't know, but again, there's been posts that says that President Trump didn't know. So it's one thing about it is that I truly feel like it's truly a good thing. I don't know how y'all feel about this, but I truly feel as if this is a good thing. I truly feel as this is a good thing, and I absolutely love the fact that, in a sense, more is in a way not only coming out, but going to come out, I feel like. And maybe y'all feel a different way. But me personally, I mean, everybody got their opinions. But check it out right here.
This came out of left field for us here covering the White House. The press shop did not give us any insight into what this announcement would be about. That's typical. Oftentimes, the First Lady doesn't share a lot of details with the White House communications shop that covers the president on what her announcements might be. We didn't, for instance, get a lot of details ahead of her prior announcement on her efforts bringing home Ukrainian children. But similarly, we had no heads up on this. We're not getting any information from them now, including whether or not the president was aware she would be making this statement. It's unclear to us if she is reacting to something or that's already happened, already come out, or getting ahead of a story that might be about to drop. We don't really know. And the content of what she's calling for, this congressional hearing to allow the victims to openly testify about what they witnessed, is new, and it will certainly breathe new life into this story that has in large part not been at the top of the news cycle lately. The attention here has been on other matters. So this brings the sort of public interest back to the Epstein story.
And I feel like, and everybody always add and say things about like a distraction. Oh, this is a distraction. Oh, this is because of this. This is because of that. I'm gonna be 100 with y'all, and y'all know I'm gonna keep it 100, and that's just what it is, and that's always what it's gonna be. But my thing is, it's a simple fact that there's more, I feel like there's way more with this administration that has been out within, being very much so open, with what's going on rather than the last administration. So when I say that I love that a lot of this, like, people have to put things in perspective. Like, even before President Trump stepped foot in the White House, he making sure stuff is happening and things is going well. That's just like this. You got Stephen A. Smith here. And my thing is, again, everybody is complaining. And then we talk about, the Democrats, and you talk about Biden administration. That's what gets on my nerves when it comes down to it, is that you have so many individuals that's constantly have something to say. But then again, it was there, 4 years? Check it out. Stephen
Ladies and gentlemen, keep in mind that the Epstein files were in existence and free to have been opened during the Biden administration. You were there for 4 years. How come you didn't open it as a Democratic Party then? What am I missing? I'm not saying I know. It's a legitimate question. Maybe I don't remember the answer. Maybe my extraordinary producers should be able to help me during the commercial break. But from my understanding, the same files that were open or being open now with the 220 pages of documents or whatever it is, with various emails, that could have been done when Biden was in office. Well, why didn't you do it? If it's so important now. What were the Democrats doing at that particular moment in time? See? This is the kind of stuff that smells.
Come on now.
Because my attitude is, just deducing how much they despise Trump, is if there was some real bona fide dirt on him, since you went after him with the 34 felony convictions, which essentially was deduced to him paying hush money to Stormy Daniels, a porn star, Just so she wouldn't reveal their happenings with one another leading up to the election in 2016. Okay? If you had something like that you were willing to parade him through the streets with, of course, if you had something on him about Epstein, you'd have let it go earlier to make sure he didn't become the 47th president. That's just my thinking from a logical perspective. But what do I know?
One thing about it is that I might not, and again, this is me being real, I might not agree with everything that Stephen A. Smith has to say. I may not agree with everything, but one thing that I can agree with him on is the simple fact that him saying, you know, Epstein's file were existence and free to have been opened during the Biden administration. You were there for 4 years. I mean, that's just being real. When it comes down to it, it's being real. I don't care what anybody say. I'm telling y'all, that's just like this right here. I made sure to put this in here. It's again says House Democrats just stormed out of the room despite AG Pam Bondi, and Ty showing up to a closed door briefing to answer any and all questions about the Epstein files. It says, imagine that. Democrats don't actually care. Check it out. I'm telling y'all, it's wild. And it's the same quality of, I having trouble hearing too.
I made it crystal clear I will follow the law. But next question. Next question.
And y'all can barely hear this. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if it's like the quality of the video.
You mean by identify? You mean victims' names that were released that shouldn't have been? Exactly. So under the Epstein Transparency Act, we had 30 days to redact and release under the law that was passed 3 million documents. If you stack those up, that's the height of the Eiffel Tower. No other administration, under the Biden administration, they released 0 documents.
One thing about it that I would definitely say is the simple fact that, again, and I truly feel like it's very much so a reason on why Pam Bondi, has lost. And you have, different talks, different opinions when it comes down to Pam Bondi. But me personally, I'm glad that President Trump made that move. Just for the simple fact that this is stuff that myself and others have actually, voted for, of wanting to know what's going on, wanted to know, the important things. And I feel like a lot of people obviously didn't get that when it came to Pam Bondi. But I truly feel as if things are definitely going to get better when it comes down to it. This is more when it comes down to, the left, speaking on the Epstein files. Check it out right here. Scott
Stand
James.
on, and I really have real questions for anybody who is trying to obfuscate or diminish what's actually going on here. And again, Scott, you keep saying, well, he didn't do anything. There's no indication of criminality. If that's true, he should be elated that we're putting these things out.
It's not if that's true. It is true. Can you name any evidence?
I would like to see the evidence. What I'm saying is,
you think after 10 years of public life, you wouldn't know it already?
No, I don't.
No,
that's exactly the point.
Oh, my goodness.
Scott,
this is an IQ test. Don't fail it. Come on, man.
Scott,
10 years Donald Trump has been in public life.
That's embarrassing.
Come on.
Scott, it is an IQ test. I mean, for 10 years, we haven't heard any names. So you really think that no one's involved?
No, obviously. Larry Summers was involved. Stacey Plaskett was involved. There's all kinds of people involved with Jeffrey Epstein.
If someone was involved, we would know about it. They would be prosecuted. It would be done and dusted. The last 10 years, no one has been prosecuted for this. Is that a sign that nothing has happened?
No, absolutely not.
So then why are you saying that is the case for Trump?
My question directly to him is, if you think after 10 years, 3 presidential campaigns, and Democrats unleashing holy hell on him, you wouldn't know about it?
No, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Biden's DOJ did everything to bankrupt Trump, to put him in jail for 4 years. Don't you think that if there was any kernel of anything that they found troubling in those documents, we would know. They did everything else they could to weaponize the DOJ.
I don't believe
Why,
that.
if they had that smoking gun, would they have not released it?
Because there was outstanding appeals on.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I truly feel like that's something that is truly wild to me now that I think about it, is why not that too? And I feel like it just goes to show y'all that you truly have people that have that main agenda. They literally have that main agenda to look at. They have a main agenda of bashing Trump and saying things about Trump as much as possible. Literally as much as possible. In a sense of, okay, let's throw this on him. Because my thing is, and it has a lot to do with the mainstream media as well. You know, when you have that and you pushing that, you see people that had never even got into any type of politics, any type of nothing about it. But as soon as that comes out, they see, you know, what's going on with the Epstein files. They see this, they see that, and they have that Trump name, and they saying Trump, and they saying Trump, and they're saying Trump. Mind you, all the other things that they saying about Trump. One thing that I will say, and I will continue to say, is the simple fact that the reason on why is because they see that President Trump is doing an amazing job in that office. I'm telling y'all. So they're trying to do everything they possibly can to tear that down. I'm telling y'all. This right here just goes to show you of, you know, them bringing up President Trump. But, I mean, look at Hakeem Jeffries.
Hakeem's people asked Epstein to come to dinner and meet him after he was convicted for fooling around with a 14-year-old.
Yeah, how about that? I mean, this is why the Democrats they're going to regret, I think, ever playing around with this, and they're going to regret embracing transparency, though I'm glad they did. They thought, I think, that the files would never become public. They thought this was all a game. Well, guess what? They're going to get their wish. They are going to become public. The president's going to sign the bill. The president's been right all along on this. He said months ago, make public everything you can that's not classified. Now Congress is finally going to do it. And I think we're going to learn a lot, Jesse. A lot of people suddenly are going to get real reticent to talk about Epstein, whether it's Hakeem Jeffries, whether it's Larry Summers, that Harvard president you mentioned a second ago who worked for Barack Obama. We're going to find out a lot about a lot of folks, because you know what else is in this bill that just passed tonight? It's got to be a searchable database so any American can go in and read the files for themselves. That's how it should be. I'm looking forward to seeing what's there.
Well,
So you have literally, and I've showed y'all, we done been through this, you know, a million times, you know, in the past of Hakeem supposedly inviting him, you know, to dinner, and the emails that were sent, but they love to bash President Trump. I'm telling y'all, that's their main agenda. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this. I would love to hear y'all opinion on this video. So make sure y'all comment down below and let me know what y'all think about a lot, you know, that's going on with this. You know, and it says right here, you know, do you fully trust and believe Melania is as white as snow on the Epstein case? Y'all let me know what y'all feel, and definitely want to see. Gonna be responding to some people. See how y'all feeling about this. But you already know, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for the next video dropping tonight. Catch y'all next one.